November 23rd, 2014, from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was the Tennessee Titans at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Titans won the toss and they elected to defer. And on the opening kickoff of this game, Josh Huff ran it back 107 yards for the touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles to put them on the scoreboard with the very first play right there at the kickoff. So after the kickoff, it was 7-0 Eagles over the Titans. So now the Eagles would end up having to kick it off to the Titans. And with only just 17 seconds or so, after the second kickoff, there'd only be 17 seconds ticked off the clock for the Titans. So the Titans would take over on their own 17-yard line, and they would end up going 3 and out on their first possession. And so now the Eagles would take over on the 49, their own 49, at midfield for their first official possession of this game. And on 2nd and 9 from the 50, McCoy ran for 15 yards to pick up a first down and bring the ball to the Tennessee 35. Then on 2nd and 9 from the 34, Sanchez hit Selleck for a 15-yard pass, and that made a first down in the red zone at the Tennessee 19. Then on 2nd and 10 from the 19, McCoy ran for 12 yards, and it was now 1st and goal on the 7. And on 2nd and goal from the 4, Darren Sproles ran it in for the touchdown, and it was now 14-0 Eagles over the Titans. So now Tennessee would take over on their own 42, and they would go 3 and out for the second consecutive possession. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 17 with about 9 minutes left here, still in the first, with a 2-touchdown lead. But after 5 plays, they would punt the ball for the first time in this game. And now the Titans would take over on their own 24, but they would go 3 and out for the third consecutive possession, and they would punt it right back to Philadelphia, who now took over with about 6 minutes left, and they had it on their own 36. And on 2nd and 2, Sanchez went to Matthews for a 17-yard reception that brought the ball to the Tennessee 39. Then on 3rd and 6 from the 35, Sanchez went to Polk for a 15-yard reception, and it was a first down on the Tennessee 20. Sanchez then threw an incomplete pass, but there was a penalty of defensive pass interference against the Titans, and it was now 1st and goal on the 9. Sanchez was then sacked for his 7-yard loss by Casey, and then McCoy was dropped for a 2-yard loss by Casey on the next play, and it was now 3rd and 18, and an incomplete pass would bring out Parkey to attempt the 36-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and it was now 17-0 Philadelphia over Tennessee. So now the Titans would get the ball, and they would go 3 and out for the 4th consecutive possession of this game as the Eagles' defense was just shutting them down. So now with about a minute left still in the first quarter, the Eagles would take over in the shadow of their own end zone on their own 6-yard line, and on 2nd and 8, Sanchez dropped back to pass, and he was intercepted by Gee. So now the Titans would take over on the Philadelphia 30 with just about a half a minute left before the end of the first. And on 2nd and 10 from the 30, they would end up going with an end around by Wright. It picked up 5 yards, but there was a holding penalty against the offense, and so they would end up going back, and they would end the first quarter with a penalty on the offense. So after 1 quarter of play, the score was Philadelphia 17, Tennessee 0. So to start things off in the second quarter, it was 2nd and 20 from the Philadelphia 40 for the Titans. Zach Metzenberger dropped back to pass, and he found Hunter for a 40-yard touchdown. And that put the Titans on the scoreboard with the first play of the second quarter, as it was now a 10-point game with the score Philadelphia 17, Tennessee 7. So now the Eagles would take over with less than 10 seconds ticked off the clock in the second quarter. They had it on their own 20, and on first down, LaShawn Shady McCoy ran it 53 yards all the way to the Tennessee 27 for the first down. So now it was 3rd and 5 on the Tennessee 22. Sanchez went to Sproles. He picked up 7 to make it a first down on the 15. The drive would end up stalling, though, on the 7-yard line. They'd bring out Parkey to attempt his second field goal of the game. It was up. It was good from 26 yards out. And it was now 20-7 Eagles over the Titans. So now Tennessee would take over on their own 19 with about 11.5 minutes left in the second quarter. And on first down, Metzenberger aired it out to Walker, and he caught it for a 68-yard pass, and it would make it a first down in the red zone on the Philadelphia 13. Bishop Sankey then ran for 4, and Green ran for 1. and the Titans took a timeout, and now it's 3rd and 5 on the 8-yard line, and Zach Metzenberger was dropped for a sack by Curry for a 12-yard loss, but there was a face mask against the defense, and now that would make it a first down on the 4-yard line. So it was 1st and goal. Then on 2nd and goal, after Green picked up 2 on 1st down, he picked up another 2, and that was good for the touchdown, as it was now a 6-point game with the score Philadelphia 20, Tennessee 14. So now the Eagles would take over with about 8.5 minutes left before halftime. They had the ball on their own 31, and on 3rd and 3 from the 38, Sanchez hit Jordan Matthews for a 20-yard reception that made a first down on the Tennessee 42. Then on 3rd and 4 from the 36, Sanchez hit Zach Ertz for a 9-yard pass, and that made it a first down on the Tennessee 27. And on 3rd and 6 from the 23, Sanchez hit Riley Cooper for a 21-yard reception, and that made it 1st and goal on the Tennessee 2. LaShawn Shady McCoy punched it in from 2 yards out, and it was now 27-14, Philadelphia over Tennessee. The Titans would now take over with about 4.5 minutes left before halftime. They had the ball on their own 20. On 2nd and 5, Bishop Sankey ran for 7 yards to make it a first down on the 32. Then on 3rd and 2 from the 40, Metzenberger hit Walker for a 21-yard pass that brought the game to the 2-minute warning and brought the ball to the Philadelphia 39 for a first down. Metzenberger then hit Washington for a 21-yard pass that made it a first down in the red zone on the Philadelphia 18. Bishop Sankey then ran for 13 yards, and that made it a first down on the 5, and it was 1st and goal. He lost 2 yards. The Eagles took a timeout. Now on 2nd and goal from the 7, Metzenberger hit Washington for a 5-yard pass, and the Eagles took another timeout. And on 3rd and goal from the 2, Metzenberger threw an incomplete pass, and out would come Succop to attempt a 20-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and this was now a 10-point game with the score 27-17. Philadelphia over Tennessee. So now the Eagles would get the ball back with less than a minute left before halftime. They had the ball on their own 20. They ended up moving backwards with a 3-yard loss on 2nd down, and it was 3rd and 13 from the 17. Sanchez dropped back to pass, and he hit Jordan Matthews for a 24-yard reception, and the Eagles burned their final timeout. So they now had a first down on the 41. Sanchez then hit Sproles for a 10-yard pass, and it was a first down on the Tennessee 49. Then on 2nd and 10 from the 49, Sanchez went to Macklin, and he picked up 18 yards. And they ended up going to the booth, but it was ruled a catch. And so now it was first down on the 10 of 1st and 10 on the 31 of Tennessee, but only 7 seconds left on the clock. So they brought out Parkey to attempt a 49-yard field goal. It was up, and it hit the left upright, so it was no good. And the score remained 27-17, Eagles over the Titans. The Titans ended up taking a knee, and this game went to halftime. So at halftime, the Titans trailed by 10 as the Eagles led 27-17. The Titans would start things off in the second half, and they would end up with a 3rd and 16 from the 23. Metzenberger dropped back. He hit Schwenke. Schwenke fumbled. He was blown up by Kendricks. And Allen ended up picking up the ball, and it was now Eagles' ball on the Tennessee 33 with about 12.5 minutes left in the third. Then on first down, LaShawn Shady McCoy ran for 14 yards to make it a first down in the red zone on the Tennessee 19. But there ended up being an illegal use of hands penalty against the offense, and that made it 1st and 20 from the 29. Sanchez then dropped back to pass, and he hit Riley Cooper for a 15-yard reception that made it 2nd and 5 on the Tennessee 14. Sanchez then dropped back to pass, and he hit Casey for a 14-yard touchdown, and it was now 34-17 Philadelphia over Tennessee. The Titans now took over with about 11.5 minutes left in the quarter. They started on their own 20. They ended up moving backwards before they ended up punting the ball 5 plays later from the 14. So now Philadelphia would get the ball back with about 7.5 minutes left in the third. They had it on their own 39. They would move the ball across midfield. And on 3rd and 6 from the Tennessee 43, Sanchez dropped back to pass, but he was intercepted by Stafford. And so now the Titans would take over on the Philadelphia 41 with about 5 minutes left in the third. Sankey then ran. He got blown up by Logan. He forced the fumble, and Fletcher recovered. And now the Eagles had the ball back on their own 47 with just under 5 minutes left in the quarter. They moved the ball across midfield, and they got down into the red zone. They were faced with a 3rd and 6 from the Tennessee 18, and Sanchez hit Maclin for a 12-yard pass that made it 1st and goal from the 6. But then Polk, after not picking up any yards, and there was a holding play, that made it 1st and goal from the 16. And then another penalty of unnecessary roughness made it 2nd and 29, or 2nd and goal from the 29. They would end up having to bring out Parkey a couple plays later as he would attempt a 35-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and the Eagles extended their lead to 20 points with the score now Philadelphia 37, Tennessee 17, as this game was now in the 4th quarter. And so now, in the 4th quarter, with a little over 14 minutes left on the clock, the Titans had it on their own 22, but they went 3 and out and punted the ball to Philadelphia, who now took over with about 12 and a half minutes left in this game, and the ball on the Tennessee 42 to start this possession. On 1st down, Sanchez hit Selleck for a 12-yard pass and was now a 1st down on the 30 of Tennessee for the Eagles. Sanchez then hit Maclin for a 13-yard pass and was a 1st down in the red zone on the Tennessee 17. But then on 3rd and 5, an incomplete pass would bring out Parkey to attempt a 30-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and it was now 40-17, Eagles over the Titans. The Titans would take over with about 10 minutes left in the game. They had it on their own 21, and on 1st down, Metzenberger hit right for a 28-yard pass that brought the ball to midfield at the 49. Then on 2nd and 10, Metzenberger went to Walker and picked up 26 yards. And there was actually a defensive holding penalty, but it was declined. It was a 1st down on the Philadelphia 25. But they ended up moving backwards, and they were faced with a 3rd and 15 on the 30. And they ended up picking up 16 yards. They were just shy of the 1st down. It was actually ruled a 1st down initially, but then they ended up examining it, and it was reversed, and it was ruled to be a 13-yard reception, so he was 2 yards shy. They went for it on 4th and 2, and they turned the ball over on downs. The Eagles then went 3 and out, and the Titans got the ball back, but now there's just 7.5 minutes left on the clock, and they trailed by 23. They had the ball on their own 49, and Metzenberger hit Hunter for a 14-yard pass that made a 1st down on the 37, and on 2nd and 10, Metzenberger went to Walker for a 27-yard pass that made it 1st and goal on the 10-yard line. And they ended up faced with a 4th and goal on the 6, and they went for it, and Metzenberger hit McCluster for a 6-yard touchdown, and it was now 40-24 as they cut the Eagles' lead to just 16. But with less than 6 minutes left in the game, the Eagles now had the ball, and they had it in Tennessee territory to start their possession after the onside kick failed, and they would end up handing off the ball to Polk, and he just kept chipping away. And on 4th and 7 from the 32 of Tennessee, Parkey came out to attempt a 50-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and it was now 43-23, Philadelphia over Tennessee. Tennessee now took over on their own 20 with about 2.5 minutes left in this game. And they ended up picking up a 1st down, and on 1st and 10 from the 37, Zach Metzenberger dropped back to pass, and he was intercepted by Boykin. And so now the Eagles would take over on the Tennessee 41 with about 2 minutes left. Sanchez took 3 knees, and they actually had to punt the ball, and they punted the ball to Tennessee, and the game actually came to a close with Tennessee taking a knee. And so the final score in this game, Philadelphia 43, Tennessee 24. And with the win, the Eagles are 8-3 as they keep pace in the NFC East, as they're assured to be at least tied for 1st place, depending on what happens on Sunday Night Football. But they're 8-3 on the season, and they're 6-0 at home as they're undefeated in Lincoln Financial. The Tennessee Titans are 2-9 on the season, 1-5 on the road. And in this game, Mark Sanchez was 30 for 43 with 307 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He had 4 yards rushing off of 4 carries. Zach Metzenberger was 20 for 39 with 345 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He had 2 negative yards off of 2 carries. The leading rusher in this game was LaShawn Shady McCoy with 21 carries for 130 yards and a touchdown. Sproles had 25 yards off of 6 carries and a touchdown as well. And Sproles, he had 14 yards receiving off of 3 carries. The leading receiver in the game was actually for Tennessee was Delaney Walker, the tight end. He had 5 receptions for 155 yards. Jordan Matthews was the leading receiver for Philadelphia with 6 receptions for 77 yards. And on defense, the leading tackler was actually for Tennessee. It was Michael Griffin. He had 12 tackles. Derek Morgan had 10 tackles and a sack for the Titans. The leading tackler for Philadelphia was Michael Kendricks. He had 7 tackles. Trent Cole had 2 sacks in this game. And the Eagles had 5 sacks altogether. Connor Barwin also had 2 sacks, and Cox had 1 sack as well. The Titans had 2 sacks. So we mentioned Morgan had 1 and Casey had the other. And as for interceptions, the Titans had 2 interceptions. Stafford and Gee each had a pick. Boykin had a pick for the Eagles. But the Eagles win this one running away, and it started off with that kickoff on the very first play. The final score in this game, Philadelphia 43, Tennessee 24.